Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you are, remember you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another Daily News with a hockey coach guru called Frenchy. Today, episode number 210. What do you have in the menu, coach, today? First of all, we're going to talk about the Montreal Canadiens in the middle of the ice. Secondly, the recap game between the Montreal Canadiens and the Colorado Avalanche. Finally, some concern about Juraj Slafkovsky. But before we start, we invite you, please, click on the likes, subscribe to Hockey Nation Show, and, of course, please leave me a comment about this episode. And by the way, I wish you a happy holidays. Let's dive in talking about the first subject of the day. First of all, guys, the Montreal Canadiens have some problem in the middle. And I'm going to go to the whiteboard with you to talk about what's going on with the Montreal Canadiens. I think the Montreal Canadiens have to look about the team are really successful in NHL. I'm talking about the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Colorado Avalanche, Boston Bruins. And one thing they do very well, guys, is they are really good in the middle of the ice on the 3 zone. Think about Tampa Bay Lightning. First line, Palat, Brennan Point, Kucherov. They are not afraid to be in front of net. Talk about Nick Paul, Ross Colton, Maroon, Perry, Cirilli, Agel. All the player guys, they go in front of the net. And that's what happening when the Montreal Canadiens, they struggle. Plus, they don't have Monahan and Gallagher. 2 excellent players. They are not afraid to go in front of the net. It's not going to be that enough. Drouin, Hoffman, Caulfield are going to be in front of the net. And that's something the Montreal Canadiens have to draft or select. Player are not afraid in front of the net because that's what happening the most of the goal in NHL. So what I want to bring to you guys today is about the offensive zone. Play in the house or between the hash mark. That's really important for the Montreal Canadiens. They need to bring player in front of the net constantly. Secondly, in the neutral zone, how you play the middle, coach. First of all, you don't want to give the middle of the ice on the entrance zone for opponent team. Secondly, if you do a cap control at the red line, you want to be sure your F1 back checker is going to be helping your defenseman at the blue line with his teammate as a defenseman. If not, he's going to create a 2 versus 1 if you miss this. And then on the defensive zone, of course, you have to protect the house and to be physical and to be under the stick to opponent team. So many defensemen struggle for the Montreal Canadiens. Those 3 areas are really important for the Montreal Canadiens to performing better as a team together. And this is something the Montreal have to find a way with learning, teaching, and drafting player we need in front of the net on both sides of the ice. Now, I want to focus more on the middle of the ice, guys, for the power play problem. Montreal right now is 1-30. Plus, they are bottom in NHL right now with under 14%. What I want to explain to you here, guys, is to take a little bit what the Tampa Bay Lightning are really good. People talk always about the one-timer shot of Steven Stamkos. You fans and the Montreal Canadiens fans are excited when Cole Caulfield scored a one-timer goal on power play. Guys, it's happened only one time in the last 30 chance power play. The shot of Montreal are coming on 2 areas. One from Caulfield, one from the right side with Zuski, and then barely from the blue line. This is something Montreal have to get better. So let's talking on the whiteboard when I'm talking about from the problem with the Montreal Canadiens on the power play. Everybody talked to me, guys. He said, oh, coach, we need a quarterback. We need a lead tank. We need super elite right here. Guys, the Tampa Bay Lightning use Edmund and, of course, Sergachev. But what happening for the Tampa Bay Lightning, guys? They bring players right here in the house. That's what they do all the time. So they bring 2 players, one here and one as the bumper. That's the 2 players over there. You can see Stamkos over there, and you can have Kucherov over there. And they pass the puck. But what they try to do most of the time, guys, is to get a shot from the blue line here, to go through the bumper, and then to go through and find the net for the rebound. Most of the time, that's what the Tampa Bay does in power play. Or if you want to go another way, they do this one over there. They bring the guys over there. They're going to slide the guys right here. And then they're going to take that puck over there. Pass to Kucherov. Oops, sorry about that. Pass to Kucherov. Pass to Killorn. Pass to Point. And points. And then you have a goal over there. A shot for the point. What happening there? Where the shot's coming from? Again, from the middle of the ice. Right here. Right? So what we want to do now, the Tampa Bay Lightning are really good on that one, like I mentioned to you earlier. Most of the puck is moving from the left to the right. Right? They go right here. They go right here. Stamkos does sometimes a shot over there. Sometimes the shots come right here. But they really use the two-player right here. By a shot from this guy over there, tip in front of the net, and play the rebound. And what happening at this? Those guys right there crash to the net. That's what you do. And this is what Montreal Canadiens have to become better on the power play. They don't need, guys, I'm telling you right now, they don't need a defenseman here to be a super elite defenseman. What they need to sure that puck go through the lane and they go all the way to the net. Until you don't do this, Montreal Canadiens, guys, you can bring anybody on the ice. You can bring players not go to work. Montreal are too much previsible to see them what they do. Suzuki or Caulfield, 70% of the chance are coming that way. Until they learn to play from the top of the line, guys, to bring the puck in front of the net, to play a rebound, is going to not happening for the Montreal and power play. It's simple. Yeah, nothing else I can teach you more. We talked earlier about this one over there. Tell you right now, if Montreal Canadiens cannot use the top quarterback where a puck go through, and right now for the Montreal Canadiens, you've been laughing at me, it's Jagai. That's what he does. We try to bring Drouin, Hoffman, Whiteman. Guys, they cannot score. We talked about this yesterday. Drouin didn't score since 2019. Whiteman since 2017. Over 1 year, Hoffman did not score. We tried to use again that enough. Did not score. We used, they were right, did not score. But again, they need to be sure they modify their system inside the zone by using the quarterback and through the puck, through in front of the net to play more rebound. If not, it's easy to control the Montreal Canadiens on power play. And this concludes, guys, my first subject of the day. My second subject is about the recap game between the Montreal Canadiens and the Colorado Avalanche. The final score, 2-1 for Avalanche over the Montreal Canadiens and OT. I want to talk about fourth strength player was really good for the Montreal Canadiens in my eyes. First of all, Jake Allen, unbelievable performance again for Jake Allen. Unfortunately, he was not great on the goal-winning game, but we cannot be upset about Jake Allen. That's the only reason Montreal got 1 point tonight, because the performance of Jake Allen, at least during the last two periods of this game. Kirby Dach, for me, was the best player for Montreal Canadiens. It's rare when you say Dach is the best player on the first line. He was better to the captain and Caulfield yesterday. I like the way he played. He was aggressive. He was puck protection. He was involved. He turned around the puck to take away the puck for opponent team. I really like the game for Kirby Dach for the Montreal Canadiens. Then Jonathan Drouin continues to performing, guys, since he's come back with the Montreal Canadiens with his injuries. And again, many of you does not like Jonathan Drouin, but for me, he was the best player behind Kirby Dach yesterday. He does a great job as a center. He almost scored in overtime at the end. And then finally, Anthony Richard scored his first goal in NHL, gave the only goal for the Montreal yesterday. Play only 9 minutes, 45 seconds after he took a penalties on the ice, and then Lekonen scored a goal on power play. We did not see Anthony Richard after that on the ice. I think he was benched by Avalanche. Guy is rare, but usually a team play with 7 defensemen, sometime an 11 forward. 6-12 is a normal. But yesterday, guys, Colorado Avalanche played with 8 different defensemen and 10 forward. They really honestly play at 3 line only. Again, a Montreal Canadiens with 8 defensemen. Unbelievable. And many of them did not play a lot as the defensemen. When you have McCall, Tace, Johnson, and Girard, of the 4 other defensemen, did not see a lot of minutes for the Colorado Avalanche. You know, Montreal Canadiens are looking for a winger. And yesterday, we see one of the best winger in NHL, Rantanen. Is still high, guys. 26 minutes almost. He scored a goal-winning game yesterday in OT. Great performance. They play right now without McKinnon, Lestagog, Biram, Cogliano. 7 players are on the injury list right now for the Colorado Avalanche. They find a way. Great performance of Georgia, by the way, during the game with the Colorado Avalanche. But again, for me, Rantanen is really a player when a Montreal Canadiens try to find. Is it Slafkovsky can become that winger? I'm not sure. But Montreal Canadiens need to find a winger like Rantanen in the future. Finally, Arturi Lekonen, ex-Montreal Canadien, scored a goal against the Montreal. Is 9 of the season on power play. Yes, on power play. I want to just mention to you, Lekonen, guys, more you think about him, more you're watching him. That's what the Montreal Canadiens missed the most in Montreal. We don't have a Arturi Lekonen, unfortunately, in Montreal. A great, amazing on the 3 zone, play the 200 feet game perfectly for the Avalanche. And it was great for the Montreal Canadiens, and you can see it yesterday, play on the top line for the Colorado, play on power play, and Montreal unfortunately missed him. We know they got Justin Barron and a second round pick. What we see was going to be the impact of this, but again, Lekonen did a goal against the Montreal Canadiens, tied the game 1-1, and then they lost Montreal in overtime. I just want to give you quickly a recap game of the Montreal and the Colorado Avalanche. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about the performance of Montreal yesterday. And that gave them 3 points on the possibility of 4 since the beginning of the road trip for the Montreal. The next game is going to be Friday night. Pay attention, guys. The game is at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. The NHL changed the time of the game, Eastern Time, 8 o'clock versus the Dallas Star. Let's move on now, guys, for my last subject of the day. My last subject of the day, guys, is about Juraj Slafkovsky. The last 2 games, he struggled, unfortunately, with Montreal Canadiens. We know he have a good chemistry at the beginning with Anderson, but right now, I see Slafkovsky a little bit make me concerned about him. What you talking about, coach? But first of all, it's not confirmed yet for Montreal Canadiens about his World Junior Championship. Do you believe he can come over there? Do you think he can play for Slovakia? Possibly. We don't know yet, but it's not confirmed yet by the Montreal Canadiens. Slafkovsky not going to participate to the World Junior Championship. But here, when I want to talk about Slafkovsky was the most important thing. The word and the NHL, everywhere, every team, every player knows they can hit Slafkovsky. And this, for me, guys, is a concern about him. Are you concerned or not? Because right now, he get hit a lot. We can call about 6-7 times he got destroyed. Today, the last game, not yesterday against Colorado, against the Phoenix guy, he got destroyed by a defenseman he barely hit in any shot. The defenseman from Arizona guy had maybe 38 during his career, and he hit perfectly Slafkovsky. And many of time, Slafkovsky put himself under bad situation. By the way, his head is down, or he tried to make an extra move, and then he get hit badly. And I think something you need to learn. But is it the best way to learn in NHL, or is it the best way to learn in American Hockey League, or somewhere else? Now, it's happening a lot for the players, guy, when they grow at young age, then they play junior. When they are bigger, easier for them. And when you play in the Finland or Slovakia, you don't get hit a lot, unfortunately. And this is a really difficult time for him to learn about the hit in NHL. He need to learning head up, need to learning what he can do, what he cannot do. This is something he need to develop and progress with time. But is it a biggest concern for the concussion? Is it a biggest concern he can get hurt? Is it a biggest concern as the fans and what you see so far? Is it better for him to play in NHL or American Hockey League? I don't have no answer for that. I just express one thing for me. The word and NHL everywhere said you can hit Slafkovsky. He's a big guy and he's really weak about get hit. So something to watch for the next couple of weeks with the Montreal Canadiens and see what the Montreal going to send him or not at the World Junior Championship. I just open up, guys, a subject for you. I would love to hear from you comments about Slafkovsky and tell me what you think would be the best for him in the next couple of weeks. So this concludes, guys, all my subject I have for you for this episode. Here we go. Today we talk about the positive Montreal Canadiens need to find a way to get or bring some better player work in the middle of the ice. Secondly, recap game Montreal in the Colorado Avalanche. Finally, Juraj Slafkovsky concern. But before we leave, we invite you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to Hockey Nation Live Show, leave me a comments about this episode, and of course, I want to remind you, you have greatness inside of you. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and of course, we wish you an amazing, blessing day, everybody.